Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back. Today should be a relatively normal budget, I think, compared to everything else like the last couple of videos or so. Mostly just going to be looking at transactions, making sure that they are correct because of the travel and the way that the transactions worked out in that instance. It might have caused some things to start categorizing incorrectly. So just wanted to make sure that those things are going to be accurate, and then assigning the second paycheck for this month. So let's go ahead and get into that. For Capital One, let's see. We've got some payments, transfers. My sister still decided to give me the full amount for the insurance, even though it was lower, I believe, last month because of discounts and things like that. I'm still going to talk to her again. I might be annoying her, but I just want to make sure that she's really okay with not cutting out somewhere so that it's kind of more even. But if she says no again, then I'll just leave it as is and I'll just keep putting it towards insurance. Maybe it'll build up a little bit here and there. So if anything happens and either her or I can't necessarily meet it in a certain month, we'll have that extra in there as a just in case. There's the paycheck and then the $25 transfer. All of this looks good. Yeah, so let's approve all of that. And yep, that is the amount to reconcile. Okay, sun check. This is just all of the transfer and payment for this month for the car. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look here for venture. This is fine. This is fine. Let's see, approve those. This 2835, I don't think that's wellness. That is probably one for when I went to get a few things at the store in New York and it was specific to wellness, but this one is not. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, to make sure that those payees are linking to the correct categories, or at least the categories that are most commonly used. Okay, and 5191 is good. Sapphire, so payment. Okay, so this escape from reality is actually groceries, and this other one here is the groceries for the second half. And it should be 165.62, and we are good there. Oh, and the jet pens finally matched and cleared, so just get rid of that. Okay. Freedom. Let's see. Those are good, and that's good. Okay, so there's been a couple of shows that I've been wanting to watch that I've kind of put off for a bit because I haven't had any streaming services whatsoever. I think the last streaming service I had was Netflix, and then I canceled that. So I got 2 streaming services this month because there were 2 shows that I wanted to watch and they were not in the same one. So I've watched one show and I'm going to watch the second one, and I'm going to take advantage of the month that I paid and see if I can watch any other shows that I might have missed or anything else that has been on my watch list and I haven't gotten to it. I'm hoping I don't forget to cancel these before the month is out. I'm kind of wanting to keep the $7 one because it is only $7, and just get the like $12 one every so often when I want to watch something that's only there. We'll see how it goes. I I needed to watch. They weren't on YouTube. Some of the shows I've watched before are like on YouTube because the company puts them on YouTube, and they weren't there. So this was the place that I could watch them. It's just getting these 2 different ones. For one of the shows, they put the first 2 episodes up and then they said, here, go to our streaming service, then you can watch the rest of it. And I was so disappointed. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on monthly fees for right now, and I'll add a little bit in there, of course, to offset what's used up, since I still have my usual monthly fees in there. There's technically 4 streaming services that I used to have a while back that I used a lot because I would watch shows on them all the time, and then I got rid of them to save money and things like that. I got rid of like unnecessary things. I don't necessarily want to go back to having all 4 of them at the same time or having them for multiple months at a time. Maybe like 1 month here I get 2, and then another month, maybe 2 months from now, I get the other 2 and watch some stuff there, and kind of just ping pong them like that for a little bit, just so I could have like that form of entertainment available, but also be mindful with how I use it. I don't know. The goal for the fun stuff would be to be able to have it all the time, but I also don't really want to spend what would possibly be, $40 just on streaming. And while it's not like a huge amount, it's $40 that could be going towards groceries, $40 that could be going towards savings. So I don't know. I'll see how it goes, and I'll see if I find more things to watch on these. Hopefully I can get a lot watched within the month, and then I can cancel it. I mean, not can cancel it. I will cancel it because I don't want this to go over a month. I'm probably going to be sad about it, but it's okay. I can always get it again. Just let the shows accumulate and then get them when there's a bunch to watch for a month. Okay. So for this one, it should be $25.94, which is accurate. And then let's go ahead and enter this pending one for right now. And then for the car, I did the $300 payment, and the interest is $9.39. So $4,200 remaining. That's looking really good, probably compared to what we started this year, which was $5,900. So we're pretty much down over $1,000 at this point, which is fantastic. I am so pleased with how this is going. It's great. Okay, let's go back to the plan. All right, so I have 3 overspends because I've already started spending on the second paycheck. Once the 15th hit, it was like full steam ahead. Groceries were the first thing to come in. So let's see. I'm quite curious if I just highlight everything. So it is underfunded by less than my paycheck. So this is something that I haven't been able to do since last year, where I could just check everything and then click the underfunded and it swoops everything in and is able to clear it and then have money left over. And it's not because I was making so much more than I'm making now. It's because I definitely mismanaged quite a bit last year. And then with all the other health things that happened last year, it made it sort of not possible to be able to just check everything, fund everything, with the one paycheck or whatever portion I need to fund, and then still have some money left over. So it's really good to see this. And I'm going to go ahead and make it easy on me and just click that underfund button. And kind of let's see what we have in here. So the reserve didn't get anything. I don't have targets specific to these. I have balances, but not like monthly targets. I am going to go ahead and put a little bit in here because I do want this to start accumulating. So for Haven, 50, let's do 15 for writing all night. I want to have a full 200 in here. And since I have extra left over, I can go ahead and do that. And then 20 for the vet. I'm definitely going to have to save a bit for the vet because I am canceling, as I've probably mentioned too many times already at this point, the insurance or the discount card that we have with the one vet that he goes to, because it's too far. He gets too anxious in the car, and by the time he gets over there, it's as if I've not giving him anything to calm him down, which he has prescribed by the vet to calm him down for the visits. Otherwise, they can't handle him. And my other previous vet never had that issue, but my other vet was 5 minutes from my apartment. This vet is 30 to 40 minutes from the house, depending on traffic. So there's a big discrepancy there with the travel time. And that's probably why he was a little bit more better managed. My preferred vet, to be honest, because I love them so much. Because it was just like a 5 to 10 minute car ride. So he didn't have enough time to really like get into that anxious spiral that my cat gets on. So, but yeah, we'll kind of see how that works out. I'm still looking around at vets in the area that are closest and just seeing kind of like where I feel comfortable going to. All right, Allstate, Mint. My portion of Allstate is larger than this. And when possible, add more to build. So I should be able to add my portion in there. Yeah, okay. I want to go ahead and do, I think I said 80. So let's do that. For the monthly fees, let's see, 12, 7. So I'll add an additional 20 in here just to offset for the streaming services. And so everything else that I usually have is also taken care of. Okay, so that's good. We'll go ahead and just leave Bastion with a little bit extra in there just in case. I have not put any gas this month as of yet. I still had a pretty decent tank of gas after coming back from the airport, and I just really haven't gone anywhere except doctor visits. Like I haven't traveled anywhere. I haven't gone out too far. If I go shopping, it's really close. Yeah, I haven't really used it much. Groceries. This is really interesting, having the $43 in there. I believe up until this point when I've done groceries, like I've managed to some months back have some money left over, but it's something along the lines of like $10 or less. It's not been a good chunk. I consider this $43 a really good chunk. So I'll have a little bit extra in there to be able to use if for some reason the second half goes a little bit over. But that is really, really good. Like I'm very pleased with how that's going and how sort of, and I don't know why, this just seems really odd to me that I didn't spend more or closer to the 225, which is not a bad thing. It's in line with what I want to do. I want to reduce how much I spend, but I do think it's because I've kind of built a little bit of a stock with certain things that I use more commonly throughout the month, more specifically for my dad's meals and things like that. So I guess I'm getting into the rhythm of a system, and I just didn't know that that was happening, which is all great and it's all good. You know, as long as I have what I need to be able to feed myself, feed my brother and my sisters when I cook and they don't, and then feed my dad, of course, then we're good. We are solid. We're golden. Okay, for household, yeah, let's do 10 there. Let's see if I can actually accumulate this instead of spending it right away. Wellness, that's good. Admin fees and all of that. Utilities. I want to go ahead and I guess it's fine because I would just need to assign around 15 for next month. So that's fine, actually. And then for fun, 25, 25, 50, and 45. I'm gonna edit this and I'm gonna do 60 instead. That's a lot better. The haircut plus tip, it usually goes over 45. So just to make sure that I have it in there, I'll go ahead and update it. and I won't have to worry too much about do I have enough or not. So I think we're good with that. I have been loving my hair this month for some reason. I don't know what magic she performed the last time I got my hair cut, but how it's growing out, it's looking good. Like I haven't felt the need to go and get it refreshed again, though I will. I will because I definitely like to have it shorter in the back and on the sides. And it's a teeny bit longer than I would like it, but it doesn't look bad. I don't know what magic she performed the last time. We'll see if she can perform the same magic. She's usually really good though. Like my style, she's really good with what I want. It's not complicated, so I don't think it's a complicated style. So okay, so this is looking good. And we are finally on track to meet the target of $4,000 for the savings. So this is something that I've been working towards. I put in the balance needed by the end of the year to 4,000, and we've been in yellow since the beginning of the year because I was only able to put $100 here and there, you know, just with how everything was working, especially with the debts that I have at the beginning of the year. So now I am on track to be able to actually meet the $4,000 by the end of this year. So there's a couple of things that I could do with this $177 right now. I think one of them is definitely going to be to put a little bit more into my shiny teeth. Just because I have a couple of appointments coming up. And while I do have money currently in my HSA, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit extra to put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more into that. And at some point I'll transfer this over because I'm still within like the limits to contribute for the year. And then I am going to put this to, you know what I do want to do? I actually want to get something to eat out today. I shouldn't, but I kind of want to. So I'm going to give myself an additional 20 here. And then this rest of it is going to go in here. It's going to go into savings. So a little bit for play, a little bit for eating out. I really don't want to cook tonight. I'm just being lazy. That is the honest truth right there. But I think with that extra, changing out some of the categories to make sure that they are better covered for the coming months, of course, for the future, and adding that additional amount to the savings goal is going to make it easier for the rest of the months until the end of the year, because these next months are going to be high dollar amounts going to the savings. And I believe I had 700 around this amount going in next month as well, and in November, which coming to the end, you have the holidays coming up. Whatever anyone celebrates, for me, we do Christmas. We do the Christmas tree. We decorate a little bit here and there, and then we do presents. Now, it used to be that when I was a lot younger and after I had gotten a job, after I had moved out, I tag teamed with my mom and we would split the cost of the presents. So we did that for many years, and it can get pretty hefty because there's 7 of us in the family, and in just our little core group in the family. So, and then with my boyfriend, I would get him something, and with him came his brother and his brother's wife. So I would get something for his brother's wife, and then he would get for his brother and his dad and things like that, and I would help him with that. So it was a lot of moving parts and it was a lot of money. Nowadays, for the past couple of years, it's changed. My brother and all of my sisters, they're grown, they have their own jobs. So one day I said, guys, we need to split this because I can't keep spending $500 to $600, and that of course included like also the meal and stuff, like food and things like that. So I can't keep doing that every single year. And you guys have jobs now, so let's just do Secret Santa. So Secret Santa has now become a part of our household. Essentially, names in hat, pick it out. That's who you buy for. It's very difficult sometimes for specifically my sisters to stick to the person they're supposed to buy for. But you know what? If they want to get an extra present for somebody else, that's up to them. That is their prerogative. They have their own money. I haven't asked for presents for myself for, I think, 2 to 3 years now, because I don't, for a long time, especially as I've gotten older, I've giving out lists of things because I've been asked, like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And I've had to come up with lists very quickly. And then I get them, and I haven't felt a lot of joy in receiving. But what brings me a lot more joy during the season is giving. It's definitely giving to them. It's definitely seeing their faces light up. It makes me happier than when I receive. I also don't like a lot of attention on myself. So when I'm opening presents and everybody's just staring me down to see what I got, it's a little bit too much. But this is not new to me that I feel this way. I've actually felt this way forever, especially since I started purchasing presents first with my mom and then by myself, and now sharing it the costs like we do. I've always enjoyed more giving everyone around me gifts than actually receiving. So the only thing I allow them is birthdays because they still want to give things to me. So I say, fine, I'll accept a present on my birthday. I don't really need anything for Christmas. And they still, they still gotten me a couple of things here. I've got a coffee mug. I love coffee. That works for me. I've gotten a couple of things here and there. I got a ramen soup bowl. I love ramen. That works for me. I've used it many times. So, they still get me like small things here and there, and I definitely appreciate them. So, especially because now it's coming straight from just them wanting to get me things, and I don't have I don't have to create a list for them and scramble to find things to tell them to get me. At this point, they all should know me really well. I don't really need them to shop around and frantically try to find me something. I'll leave that to them. They still enjoy giving and receiving. So, for them, I will get them whatever they want. For me, I'll get myself whatever I want. It might take longer than I would like, maybe, possibly, but it'll still come. And if it doesn't come, it means it wasn't that important. And honestly, I can live with that. But yes, I missed what my point was on that entire rant. Essentially with how much I'm sending to savings these next couple of months, it's good to be able to put a little bit extra now, and then hopefully that offsets some of the transfer, because I don't want to feel kind of beholden to like these large transfers and then be like, well, I can't use that money, which is kind of how I've been having the mindset. I really just want this to not even seem real. Like the $1,500 that I have in there right now, that's not real to me. There's no reason. That's not in there. That's just a bunch of numbers on a screen, and it doesn't really mean anything. That's kind of how I've taken this, because in the past I've been reckless with my savings quite a few years ago, before the whole moving over here and taking care of my dad and things like that, which I was still reckless last year with a couple of things, but it kind of got compounded on because of everything else that happened. So long story, very long story short, this is a good thing. I have extra. And I still was able to put a little bit away to get myself something to eat, which I'm going to go ahead and do now because I'm really hungry. And I'll do the dishes while I wait for my food to come. So yes, that is, I think, everything I had for today. Oh, yes. One last thing. My increase did get approved. It was confirmed. HR said, whoops, sorry, we forgot. Whoops. I found it funny because, like I said, I wasn't like, don't have a plan for the extra money that's coming. So that extra money probably will be what is going to help me offset savings, actually, now that I think about it. Okay. Anyway, so that is coming in the next paycheck. So the October paycheck, the first paycheck for there. And it's going to be retroactive to August. So it's going to hit 2 paychecks in August and 1 paycheck in September, I believe. I'll have to see when it comes. So essentially the next paycheck that comes in is going to be much higher than what I've gotten, but it's not going to be the correct amount because of the retroactive pay. So 2 paychecks from now, we'll kind of see how it balances it all out and how it's actually going to come from now on. Again, This is not like a huge increase. This isn't like $10,000 increase. It's much lower than that, but it is something, and it's higher than the annual increase of 2% or 3% or whatever you get, or whatever I get. So it's a little bit higher than that, but it's much lower than, it's not going to be a huge amount difference, but it will be a slight difference. And that slight difference is still going to be beneficial to get some of these things like the savings and some additional into the health category, the my shiny teeth, which I need a new name for that. I like my shiny teeth though. It's a Fairly Odd Parents song. It's fine. It's fine. I can change it. I don't want to add an extra category. That's the only thing. I have a lot of categories. Next year I might downsize some of these categories and kind of put them together because there's a lot of them. And it would work really well for like the entirety of this year, but I am definitely ready to condense some of these. I don't think I'm gonna worry about that though this year as of yet. I'm just going to hold off until next year and then kind of work through them, maybe change a few names here and there. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen next year? But yes, that's coming. It's been confirmed. I even got the title change and everything, and I did verify that the change has been made in my payroll profile. With that being said, that is all I have for today. Thank you as always for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.